Hi, my name is Corey Minter, and I'm the president of Trinity Employment Specialists. We are a travel nursing staffing agency located here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but we staff for travel nurses literally all over the entire nation. And so, what we are trying to do in all of these video casts is try to add value to the job seekers, primarily for nurses that are brand new to the market and they've never really thought about travel nursing before because it's such a complete and total different way of doing employment. And even for myself, getting into this, I did not realize how different it is. And so generally, I'm always going to have Darcel on here with me, but I want to share with you some of the unique differences in travel nursing to kick us off. And then the title of this are 10 ways to prepare for a job in travel nursing. But I like to start off with a few statistics. So I'll read these here. Employment of RNs is projected to grow much faster than the average growth for all occupations. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment for registered nurses is expected to grow by 15% in between the times of 2019 to 2026. So that growth is extraordinary. Now, if you want to know why for the growth, that is interesting as well. This is something that most Americans are just not privy to, but this is my industry, so it's really important for me to understand it. But it's actually a national problem that even the feds in Washington, D.C. are trying to figure out, and it is this. We know for certain, for absolute certain, there's no way we will have enough physicians to support all of the baby boomers that are going to be going into retirement. And we just don't have enough physicians in school that are going to keep up with the demand that we have. So, what are we going to do? Well, let me throw in another thing. Right now, we don't currently have the projected number of nurses ready to take care of this next huge baby boomer boom in the healthcare field. So, if you're a staffing agency in the healthcare field right now, that sounds really good. But if you're a patient, that is maybe a little bit concerning. So how are they going to take care of it? Well, some of the things that you might take a look at is you'll start seeing telemedicine being a big thing. You're going to start seeing a lot of digital solutions come into the marketplace, and then we'll see how it resides. But when you have a shortage of something, maybe this is something that you've learned in economics. I remember going to school trying to learn economics, but when you have a shortage of something, price goes up. When you have an influx of something, well, price goes down. But when you have a shortage of something, price is going to go up. Okay, so one of the ways that you are going to see that hospitals are going to attack the shortage of nurses and physicians they are going to do a per diem, and that's going to come from travel nursing. Travel nursing also can provide for physicians as well, but that's one of the ways that you can do that. There are normally the average salary, according to a recent Forbes article, Fresno offers the best wages and standard cost of living. According to the article, a nurse can make $81,000 a year, and that's good news because the benefits of being a travel nurse is you can make up to 6 figures on acute assignments. So your average salary here in central Oklahoma is you're going to be looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of probably upper 40s into the lower 60s for your average RN. However, if you go and do travel nursing, you likely will begin instantaneously making 6 figures a year. So you're going to go from making high 40s to instantaneously over $100,000 a year. That is almost double the salary of your average nurse. So you have a lot of travel nurses that are making the decision to change the way that they're going to work, doing travel nursing. And here's another thing. Oftentimes, you only have to travel 50 miles outside of wherever you work. So if, for instance, if you work in a city like Tulsa, well, you can travel to Muskogee, you can travel to all of these outside areas and get travel nursing. You know, we have Cushing, there's a hospital there. You have Oklahoma City, which is just 90 miles away. And if you're willing to drive an extra, 30 minutes to work and 30 minutes back, of course, you can double your salary. Now, keep in mind that I live in Broken Arrow. I travel to Tulsa. It takes me 26 to 27 minutes to get from my house to where I work. So if I were willing to get on the highway and drive the same amount of time, maybe a little bit longer, you can see how this can work out in the nurses' favor. The next thing is 1.1 million. That's how many new jobs are expected to be needed or are expected to need to be created by 2022, according to the American Nurses Association. And that is really good news for travel nurses. If you aren't sure where to take an assignment, you've got every city in the entire United States. You just have to ask and start figuring out. Now, this is not a typical working traditional type of job. It's not at all. You're going to have a recruiter with an agency. The agency is going to provide health coverage starting day one, all sorts of benefits. And you're only going to work roughly a 3-month assignment, and then you can start another one if you want, or you can take 3 months off. And that's what a lot of nurses do. They'll work half the time, get paid the exact same amount, and still keep their benefits. It's really remarkable. Plus, if you have any kind of travel per diem or any kind of, if the travel nursing agency provides for your housing, all of that is tax-free. So you have a big chunk of your overall income coming in tax-free. It's really a fascinating way to look at working. And 1.1 million jobs are going to have to be added into the market to keep up with the demand. Part of the high demand for nurses is due to the aging population, like what I had said earlier. The American Nurse Association states that more than 500,000 seasoned RNs are expected to retire by 2022. Much less you're going to have all of the extra nurses that are going to be needed just to take care of the general population that's moving in. Career Builder's 2017 report states that nursing jobs will hit 3.9 million in 2021, and 70% of nurses are feeling burnt out in their current jobs because of the already high demand. It's just a really interesting world in nursing, and that is one of the top reasons why I believe travel nursing can be a great, not only increase in income for travel nurses, but it can also be a great way to relieve them, because you don't have to work full time. You can take a couple of months off, and it's not going to be that big a deal when it comes to your salary. And even if you, one of the great things for moms, you can take the entire summer off, spend the entire summer with your kids, and still be able to spend time with the kids and stuff like that. It's a really interesting way. The last stat that I have, and then we're going to wrap up, is that according to the Department of Health and Human Services, 20 million people gained health insurance since the Affordable Care Act was implemented. And this grew even more people into the industry. Listen, we've had all sorts of crazy things happen since COVID. And no question, COVID really put a big slump in travel nursing, because basically it shut down hospitals for and didn't put any patients in hospitals for a long time because this worldwide epidemic. But travel nursing is already back up and running again. And it's a great, reliable way to make double your salary, and you can still have a great benefit package and everything that comes with it. If Trinity can help you to learn more about travel nursing, please give us a call. We would love to help you. Our number is 918-622-2588, or you can visit us online at trinityemployment.com.